Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Robin with Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in beautiful San Diego, California. And it's a little brisk outside today here, but sunny. I've been running around all morning trying to get some last-minute Christmas gifts and been working on something else in case anybody notices what's behind me. If it's my daughter, close your eyes because this is a gift for my one and only favorite grandchild that I got 3/4 of the way done, and then my sewing machine wouldn't work anymore, but I put it away and decided I would just kind of try again another day. So hopefully that other day is today. Just checking to make sure I'm on. Yep. Okay, so hopefully you guys are all ready. Has sent all your cards, and hey Lisa, thanks for joining me. I thought I was alone here today. Anyway, so I just wanted to share a few things with you. I don't think any of these are new, but just wanted to mention that my next class at Oasis in Rancho Bernardo will be Friday, January 31st from 10 to 12. And we will be making these little calendars that I make every year for everybody that sit on your desk with post-it notes and a calendar. And I'm not sure what else we're going to make, but it'll be something fun. So you have to go on Oasis San Diego. I think that's what it is, oasissandiego.com or something like that. But if you just put in Oasis Rancho Bernardo, you'll be able to find it. New kits online. Hey Doris, good to see you. And there'll be, I believe it's 3 new kits, January 7th, as well as a new scrapbooking set of kits. All these things are only going to be online. You're only going to be able to find them online. And we all know Celebration starts, and you get earned Celebration free things on all of this stuff. It's not just the January through April calendar, which also goes live January 7th. Please check the last chance and discontinued list, because first thing I wanted to show you is I had all these little pieces left. I think it was from my paper share, and this isn't even all the little pieces, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to make some cards for next year. I mean, I've already sent everything for this year, but the something festive, it's a little bit little something festive, the one that has all the little pieces in the front. Oh god, now it's going to drive me nuts. Hold on, let me get my catalog, which of course I can't reach. Oh, here it is. Little bit festive, it's festive. Oh, come on, somebody help me. A little bit festive. Right on page 18 of the catalog, that one that has the paper and the little bits. I just made 2, 4, 6, 7 cards out of it in probably an hour. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. You can see I also used the Peaceful Seasons for the Merry Christmases. I had a bunch of those cut out for some reason, so I thought I'm just going to go ahead and use those. And I just figure 2025 me is going to be so happy when she takes a look and goes, oh look, I already have some Christmas cards made for next year, so that's exciting. What else is new? Hi Marie France. Glad you could join us. And other new thing, oh, if you need a catalog, let me know if you're not already working with someone. January 19th at 1 o'clock, we're having our Valentine's Day class here using the Marbled Elegance Suite. If you want to be a part of that here, you can email me. My email's in the description. And it's $30 for 4 cards and envelopes. It includes a half a pack of the Marbled Elegance DSP and a full package of the little hearts, adhesive back hearts. And you could add the stamp set or the bundle at basically cost without, and I'll pay your shipping and your tax on those. If you want it sent to you, the whole thing, including PDFs, it's $10 more. And last but not least, I wanted to show you my paper share. For those of you who don't know what a paper share is, it's a wonderful way to get a sampling of all the new papers that are coming out. And I decided that because there were only a few in the catalog, in the January for April catalog, I would also include some online exclusives. You're going to get a quarter of the package of, this is Timeless Plaid, the Storybook Moments, so this is, like I said, each one is, it's 12 by 12, you're getting half a piece of each one of them. Friends of the Ocean, the Floral Delight, the Floral Gingham, the Beautiful Bouquet, or Bokeh, I've heard it seems both ways. The Wildflower Birthday, Specialty DSP, that's the one with all of the gold in it. And then these are online exclusives that you're getting, again, quarter of a package of the mixed media florals. So it's a great way to get some of everything. This is the everyday skies with the daytime skies and the nighttime skies. This is a 6x6. I try to keep them in 6x12 if I can, unless they won't fit in the packaging. The otters, you're getting half a piece of each paper of those. And then the pastel ombre glimmer paper that we're going to be using today. Oh, I guess I didn't cut up the blue one yet. Where's the blue one? Here's the blue one. This is great, you guys. This is an online exclusive. You've got to go online to see these things. And then, as my thank you to you for ordering from me, this is a sampling of the 3 different papers that are part of celebrations. You get a little sampling of those and a little thank you. So let me know if you want to be a part of my paper share. Just go ahead and email me. So today we are going to be working with the Friends of the Ocean suite. If you have your January through April catalog, it's on page 30 through 32. And let me just move everything on here. I guess I can take off these glimmer papers. We talked about those. Oh, just to mention on these glimmer papers, they go perfectly with this suite. They're not part of the suite, but they go perfectly with it. And you can see that they're ombre. So this one, for instance, includes Bubble Bath, Highland Heather, and Fresh Freesia. This one includes Balmy Blue. What else? Coastal Cabana and Pool Party. And the green one, yellow and green, they say has Lemon Lolly, Soft Seafoam, and Lemon Lime Twist. So they've got a lot of different colors, and they go perfectly with this suite of, let's start with the paper since we're there already, with these papers from Friends of the Ocean, because the Friends of the Ocean has Berry Burst, Calypso Colora, Lemon Lime Twist, Melon Mambo, Pumpkin Pie, and Summer Splash. So this is Summer Splash, but it sure goes well with this paper. And in fact, I'm not even sure I got the right paper now that I'm seeing that. We may have to cut some paper today to do what we need to do. Yep, I got out the wrong one because I was thinking it was Calypso Coral. That's how much it looks like it. So this is the paper, and I love these colors because I think the bright suite is my favorite. You know, the suite of 10 colors, I like the brights. On this one, the dies, I think this is the only one that the dies actually do cut out these crabs, and they cut out these big lobsters too. But even if you don't like the fronts, look at the backs, because the backs are perfect for your little, this one's so pretty. Be great for if you're a scrapbooker. But the backs are so pretty to use on other things. This might be my favorite one. But I also like the little sea stars. And these look almost the same, these two pieces of paper, but whoops. Oh, these two, but they're not. You'll see this one has little squids on them, and this one doesn't. This one has these little fishies like that. But the backs are equally great. Okay, so this is the stamp set. You've already seen some of the dies, and we're going to be using some of them today. And this one is really cool, this coral one. We've got some really bold fonts on the Sains, and you'll see what I did with them. I think made them even bolder. And then the suite also includes these wonderful dots. What are these called? Sunny Day Iridescent Dots. I love these dots. They may show up on everything. Melon Mambo, I think it is. And what do we do with my thing? I think it's Melon Mambo, Summer Splash, and Pumpkin Pie. But I don't know. I don't know if you can see how beautiful they are, but they are amazing. And then the suite also includes this embossing folder that's like little waves. What is this called? Soft Waves embossing folder. And it's a 3D one, so it's one of the really thick ones. Okay, so who's ready to see what we're going to make today? Whoops. So this is the card we're going to make. And don't let me forget I have 2 other cards to show you when we're done. So remember I said this bold font, when you put on black, it's even kind of bolder. Now, we could have just cut some of these out of the paper, but I decided I wanted to see how easy it was to put them together because it is a 2-step stamping. And the other thing, when you get your catalog, to notice about this on page 32, they talk about color buddies. And when I was at one of our stamping conventions, Sarah, our CEO, talked about this quite a lot, about how when they did this, latest revamp of our colors a few years ago, they were very aware of trying to make what they called color buddies, which is a set of 2 colors that would complement each other, like a light and a dark green or the blues or things like that. And so they gave you on page 32 these samples of color buddies, for instance, Summer Splash and Pool Party. So you can see one of those, the Pool Party, is one that we have all the time. And they said, okay, that's part of what we're doing with our in colors, is looking at ways we can pair up color buddies with our other colors. Melon Mambo and Bubble Bath was another suggestion, and that's what we're using on here. Pumpkin Pie and Peach Pie, which is what we're using on here. And Calypso Coral and Petal Pink was another color buddy. So notice those things on your colors. All right, so first thing we are going to do is do a little stamping. And I've got this big old piece in case we don't get these all the first time. But like I said, I found it pretty easy to do, so I will show you what I meant by that. So, whoops. When I stamp with a 2-step stamp, and here's our little crabby guy. And like I said, we're using the Bubble Bath and Mambo. Sometimes I like to stamp with the big one, with the solid one first. Sometimes I like to stamp with the kind of outline. I think on this one I did, well, we could try it both ways. Let's try it both ways. So here's our solid one first, and here is our more fill in the outline one first. So now I'll go back and do this one. So I'm trying to just line up everything so it kind of is going like that. That's not bad. I didn't get them quite together there. And we'll see if I do any better doing it this way. Oh dang, I just did the wrong thing here. Hold please while I clean this off. Now you can see why it's a bad idea to have two ink pads open at the same time. All right, I don't think I got everything off on here, but I think I got most of it off. Just gonna try stamping it over here. All right, so now let's do the bubble bath on here and see if that's any easier. Which do you think came out better? It was actually easier this time to do that. Let's try the same thing on our little lobster and see what we think about that. All right, so lobster is peach pie. We'll do the peachy pie first. Let's try not to screw it up again this time. You guys ever have this happen? See how it should be like this and I should be able to open it here? Somebody did it upside down. Put my label on upside down. Just to see if I'm awake, and every time I use it, my pumpkin pie, I end up kind of going, what the heck? Why can't I open this? All right, put that over there. And here's the other, you know, color buddy, peach pie and pumpkin pie, all the pies. I think the hardest thing is lining up these little legs. Oh, that lined up pretty good. So maybe on this one, doing the big fat one first, I don't know. I don't think on this lobster guy, I don't think the lobster guy was a huge difference, but like I said, you know, lining up the feet seems to be the key here. All right, so let's get our cut and emboss machine up here. I'm just gonna cut out two of these. I think I'm gonna do the two in the middle. And I always have handy, just so it doesn't move once I've started putting it through here, is just a little piece of some very old washi tape, or you can use Post-it notes. So you guys all done with all your holiday shopping? I had to run out to Costco and it was good because I forgot a couple things. One thing we always do, even though I'm sure on some level my adult children think this is old-fashioned, but they seem to like it, is they seem to like to have a calendar and, you know, a wall calendar. And I realized I hadn't got one yet. So luckily there was somewhere on my way that I could get that. Let's see, do I need to, I don't think we need that again. Look for a two-step stamp. I don't know if I'm getting better at these, but I just found this was pretty easy to do. All right. So we got a little bit more white on one side than the other. I should have lined up the antenna a little bit better, but I'm just going to cut this a little bit right here. The rest doesn't bother me so much, but there we go. And same thing over here. And then it's not so obvious the other ones. It's kind of hard to do this when I'm doing this online because it's, oh, there is something else we needed that for. I thought we may. All right, so there's this die that looks like little waves. And we're going to use that on this piece of that glimmer paper. So this is 3 by 5 1/4. And what I'm going to do is cut these waves on both sides. Now be very careful when you notice there's the wave cutter, not on this side. So that side needs to go like that. And we're going to do that on both sides. I knew there was something else we needed to do. So we're just going to put it up, right up against it on both sides. Oops, that's a little too close to the edge. The first time I cut this, I cut it wrong, actually. Didn't get the waves going the way I wanted them. And then you get this cool little thing left over, and we're actually going to use that. All right, so now we're going to turn this upside down, the other direction. Lisa, should we have a little class using this? I love these colors, you guys. This glimmer paper, probably doesn't show up so well as being glimmery. But it's like all our other glimmer paper. You guys have seen it before. It's very sparkly. And look how it's got that gradation in it. I actually think that's kind of cool for the water. I decided I wanted the darker part to be the bottom of the water. Okay, so next step is I actually need a little piece of this summer splash that I did not yet cut. So give me a second here. And we want some summer splash ink on it, so it's this needs to be 4 by 5 1/4. And what I'm going to do is put little bubbles down the side in the summer splash ink. And what I did, I don't know if you noticed this when I showed you the, when I showed you this, well, let's put our hand in it, is there's 2 sets of bubbles. And so I actually put those both together on a block. In fact, I'm going to move them more towards the center of the block so that I could basically stamp more bubbles at the same time. So then I just kind of randomly stamped bubbles, and I only really need them down the sides. That's all that's going to show, is this little bit down the side. And we gotta go on the other side. Whoops, that one didn't stamp very well, so we'll just do it twice. It'll just be a dark set of bubbles. Don't forget to stamp some kind of off the side. You don't want it to look completely regular. If you feel like, oh, it may not, you know, get everything in there, come back and do a few more. But let's see if we need any more. I think just a few in here. Maybe some right there. All right, I think we got bubbles galore. And maybe we'll put a few bubbles on our envelope too. What do you think? I think that kind of shows us where we're going here. Lots of bubbles. All right, close that up. All right, one more thing we need to do, and then we can put everything together, is we are going to heat emboss our sentiment. I don't think I got a sentiment out here yet. So we have hello friend, love you, and thanks so much. I think I'm gonna get the thanks so much. And I'll show you some other cards that I made. See how I saved that little piece? And I used this black cardstock with the white embossing powder on all of them. So we know first thing we do for embossing is embossing buddy. And then our Versamark. You can tell this is a well-loved Versamark. Every now and then somebody stamps ink on here, and then we have to kind of erase and start over. And this is just a 3/4 inch little scrap piece. And my white embossing powder. I don't like to try to put things back in those little teeny containers. I find this works really well for me. All right, I'm going to turn on my heat embosser so it can warm up a little bit. Move some of this stuff out of the way. I always emboss the back a little bit just so that it doesn't work so much. And I just think this black just went really, really well with all the colors. And I just decided, since this was such a, you know, bold font, that I would just do kind of a bold square like this and not do anything fancy. All right, so let's put our card together. Oh, what I did through the magic of television, I don't know, internet, is I cut these little guys out ahead of time. Oh, you know what I forgot to do too? Oh, this is our inside. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so we've got a piece of Melon Mambo that's 8.5 by 5.5. Somewhere in here it's scored at 4 1/4. I tend to anyway match up these little edges, even though it's scored. I find that this helps me get a better, more even score. You guys are so quiet today. Nobody's saying nothing. All right, then we got our little Summer Splash 4 by 5 1/4, in case I didn't say that before, with our little bubbles on it. Aren't these bubbles cute? I feel like putting bubbles on everything now. And then we've got our piece that we did with that lovely glimmer paper. I don't even think Summer Splash is one of the colors that they use. It's just so close to Coastal Cabana that to me they're almost interchangeable. I just decided I was going to use the Summer Splash since it was officially part of this papers, even though we're not using the papers. Okay, so then we've got this little guy and this little guy. Oh, we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of these. I think I'm going to use some baby dimensionals. Where's my little baby dimensionals? Where are you, baby dimensionals? There we go. I think we may need you. Maybe not on this huge one. I've heard someone say who lives in New Orleans that this, I mean, to me this is a lobster, but that it also looks like crayfish. So those of you who live in the South may decide this is a crayfish, not a lobster. And just put a few baby ones on the top. I don't think you need to have them, you know, absolutely everywhere. But let's just lay this out how we're going to want it. Okay, and then we've got a few of these. There's one. There's two. There's three. So this is how we're going to lay this out. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to actually stick this down, and then I'm going to kind of just get those, whoops. That was my heat tool. Hopefully it's still happy. I'm going to get one more little baby. One of these for up here for the head to... Okay. And when I do the these, I'm just going to kind of slip them underneath. Like that. And you obviously don't need as much. Oh, look, that one got kind of pulled in with the one of the dimensionals, and that's just fine by me. That dimensional will hold it down really well. And I don't worry about having glue on the whole thing. You know, it, in my opinion, it kind of is nice to be able to show a little motion. It's there just so we don't, whoops. You know, I don't want it coming apart in the mail. All right, and we got our little Krabby Patty. Oh, don't say that. Sorry, little crab, but I think you know you're good to eat. Which do you guys like better, crab or lobster? I think the right answer is yes, whichever one you're serving. And then for this, see how it's going to hang over like that? So you're going to need a dimensional on this side. Should I just peel one off? Yeah, there we go. I tried to pull one off and just the dimensional came off. So you're not going to need a dimensional over here because there already is one. So you're just going to put a little bit of glue over here. And then they're kind of, you know, even across there. And then the inside, that's where you're going to use one of these cool little things. So what I'm going to do is just, you can put it on this side. Or we can put it on this side. Kind of like it on that side. Let's see how far we're going to need it to go. I'm going to show a little bit of white, not a ton, but a little bit. And then cut off the extra, and then get that inside. And then I have a whole nother one of them from the other side of this that I can use on a different card. And this gives me plenty of room to write. But now my favorite part, which is, let's get some of the dots on here. Oh, I did fix from last week. I just wasn't pushing hard enough. You know what else I'm just noticing on these dots? They're not all one color. There's several different colors, but of this, like the blue is a couple different colors. Isn't that interesting? Come on, little guy. And they're two different sizes. So these are kind of like little bubbles in here. And then I also did a little bit of Wink of Stella. Now, Wink of Stella, I did the mistake that I try to never do is I kind of put it on here. Don't do that. Shake it up well and get a little blob. See, because look at that huge blob. That's what happened before on my card, is I ended up with a huge blob that I didn't like at all and had to quickly smear around so that it didn't show up on everything. Because this is actually, I didn't really want this much anyway, but before it was much more blobbier. This is just going to be a little touch. And you notice too, when I use Wink of Stella, my card is completely done. I have nothing more to do because now it just needs to be sitting and left alone. Because if you start playing with it, you will not be happy camper. So there's our little envelope with it. Here's my other one with I love you. Now I do want to show you a couple other cards that I made. Let's take out that one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take out this one because it's wet and I don't want to smush it again. But here's one that I made, and I used, this is the same glimmer paper that I used on the other one. Thank you, Tammy. And this is the embossing folder. And this is 3 different, just little squares from the perennial postage, 3 different pieces of the paper. And you can see I did one of each of the little dots. And then this one, I used yet another paper with that little squiddy on it. And I used the coral die and this other die that each time it cuts out 3 of these little starfish there, or sea stars they're officially called. I learned that at SeaWorld. But what do you think? You like them all? And you notice I used the black with the white embossing on all of them. I think they're just a nice little set of cards. Do you guys have a favorite? Do you have one that you're looking at and going, how did she do that? Can you please do that on another time? Let me know if that's the case. But yeah, the paper is adorable, Tammy, and you've got to get these dots, everybody. The dots and the glimmer paper and the paper, even if you, I know some people are like, thinks these crabs and lobsters, they're kind of a little big, but like I said, the other stuff, I don't know. I think when you put it all together, it just makes a lot of sense. All right, so if you didn't see the beginning, go back because I gave you a little sneak peek. Well, it's not really a sneak peek. I just showed you what I was doing with some other cards, using up stuff for Christmas, getting ready for next year, and talking about this set and paper share. So let me know if you would like to participate. Thank you, Lisa. I love this set. I think it's beautiful. I love the colors. I love the brightness. It's a happy set to me. All right, so I'm not going to go live next week because my favorite daughter and my favorite grandson and her husband, my son-in-law, are going to be visiting for a week or so, and I will be back after that, and I'll try to post some other pictures in the meantime. All right, take care, everybody. Have a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate or don't. Hopefully, and just enjoy some time off. All right, take care.